Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Jeremy Adams, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest night,
no evil shall escape my sight.
But those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, Master of the Core. It is.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And this time we're going to be talking Green Lantern, Emerald Warriors 11 through 13. But we got new issues to talk. We got news to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
I know, and I'm upset. I mean, well, we're recording this the Friday of Comic-Con, but I'm like, surprised they dropped all this stuff already before. It was pretty much
before Comic-Con, yeah.
Yeah,
it's next week. So what's going?
No,
more
it's
news
week.
to come, I guess.
It's this weekend. But I'm saying that they dropped it like this week, like early this week.
Oh wow!
All this news and stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So where do we want to start? News or issues?
Let's start with the news. All the news that's fit to print or talk about, I guess.
Let's see. Oh yes, sorry. Here we go. Looking on Bleeding Cool here. Oh yeah, they're also doing a few of them, like of course Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, but they're also doing Absolute Green Lantern and Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Cool. And the always impressive Al Ewing is doing the writing for the Absolute Green Lantern.
That's right.
So that's cool.
That's right. So I'm wondering, like how cosmic it's going to be, because I have a feeling, I don't know if we're going to, I don't know, because he's writing Immortal 4 right now, so it did do.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, they have I think they're starting in October. I don't know if they're like miniseries or maxi. I think, are they like, I forget how long. I don't know if they're like,
I thought they were miniseries, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
It's like eight issues maybe, or something
like that. Yeah, I think there is like a limited number on it. Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of good names. Like I said, Al Ewing's on Green Lantern. Friend of the show, Kelly Thompson, is gonna be doing Absolute Wonder Woman. So
very cool. Very cool.
And if you look at the art, you see a very thick looking Dark Knight Returns-esque Batman for Absolute Batman.
Batman, my favorite character.
A new take on Batman? I'm shocked. This is
Batman, my favorite character.
And then, I wonder, did they announce anything about the regular Green Lantern book for October? Because a lot of the DC books, they're shaking up the lineups for...
they're doing... What is it? All new DC, or there's a new
All In DC
All in DC All In. That's what it is. I don't know.
Like, I know all the Batman books. I think the Superman stuff. Like, all the creative teams are getting shuffled around and stuff. And
there's another book coming out. I thought there was another Green Lantern book coming out. Was it a Green Lantern core book or something?
Is it?
I think so. Let me look.
I was gonna say, we can look up the because like I said, with all this news, they started like soliciting all the stuff for October. So nope. Oh yeah, and then the thing that brought dread and fear, not just to us. I had mentioned to Lilith, and she said nothing good comes for again, they announced, yes, I believe their Action Comics, I think by the fall, is going to go weekly again, kids. Action Comics Weekly.
Oh, no.
You know how we feel about Action Comics Weekly, kids. But I believe I saw Mark Waid and Mariko Tamaki on it. So I mean, there are good names on it, but just the stuff we I identify with Action Comics Weekly. It's just how great would that be if Mark Waid knows his DC history? How great would that be if in the new Action Comics Weekly he brings back Kat Matui?
That would be awesome.
Yes. But I mean,
completely awesome.
I mean, they're really it seems like DC, they're handing more and more back to Mark Waid over there. So
Yeah.
are they just like steer the ship back the right way?
Yeah, potentially. Let's
Oh,
see.
there's a new Elseworlds Green Lantern Dark #1 coming October 2024.
Cool.
I believe it's that Green Lantern from what is that? Is that the Stan Lee stuff?
Yeah, I think
The
so.
woman with the actual like lantern on it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, on a stick. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they're
that's
kind of
it.
doing that. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I thought that Jeremy Adams was going to be writing kind of a war amongst the Green Lanterns that was prepping or something.
Oh, here
That
we
was
go. Jeremy Adams and Zermanico's Green Lantern Civil Corps kicks off in Green Lantern 16 in a special for DC All In October.
That's what it was that I saw.
Yeah.
Civil Corps, not Civil War.
Yeah. Don't want to get sued here. Oh, is that a cover? I like that. I like that cover.
Yeah, nice.
But of
I mean,
course,
it looks like,
yeah, in true big Green Lantern event fashion, yeah, there's a cover of Hal punching Sinestra. So
of course, that's a requirement at this point, isn't it?
tradition.
Yeah. I really feel like this, because I've been thinking about this, and you've read the latest issue. I've not read the latest
Yeah.
issue of that, and of course, War Journal.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this, Hal being on Earth, the thing with United Planets, plus the emotional spectrum weirdness. I really feel like kind of Hal being on Earth was kind of the lead up to that story, and that's the really big story that he's telling. Because I don't see it, maybe this is going to go into year 2 and 3 at this point, of the series. Who knows? But I feel like it's his longer arc is, giving us, a good story, but also I feel like he's going to start connecting the dots between, the last volume of Green Lantern and this one, as well as, that Green Lantern Emerald Knights one shot and everything else that's kind of been going on with Green Lantern. So looking forward to it. At least that's my guess. I don't know anything. That's just my guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, of course, Hal's on Earth in this one because it is an absolute power tie-in.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, there's a few things in here, but the main story is basically Hal is the prisoner of Amanda Waller, and her and King Shark are basically interrogating him, and Hal's basically like, "Oh, you're working with the United Planets," and she's like, "Oh, what's the guy's name in charge? Theros or whatever." She's like, "Oh, he thinks he's in charge." Of course, Amanda Waller's like, "He thinks he's in charge," but
Yeah.
She's like, by the time he comes for us, she goes, he thinks he's going to find a container of goldfish, but we're going to be sharks.
Nothing could go wrong with her plan.
Yes.
Nothing.
but yeah, Hal's basically tied down to this pain machine, and how do I put this? He escapes it. Very stubbornness and a high pain threshold. Yes.
That sounds like our boy, right?
Yes. Oh, and then of course, we show the resistance on. We see some Jessica and Salak, and then
cool.
And Cal saying, "You control the emotional spectrum. You control the universe."
Oh yeah, I saw the preview page of that where he's got all the colors on it. That was pretty cool looking.
Mm-hmm. And then Sinestro's still rocking that red ring.
Oh, so Sinestro's back. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, I don't read these books, but it says, yeah, for more Sinestro, catch Sinister Sons #6 and Kneel Before Zod #7. Kneel Before Zod's still going? Jeez.
Yeah,
I haven't been reading either one of those.
yeah, the Sinister Sons really didn't appeal to me. I mean, I don't think it
Yeah.
really was written for me anyway, so it makes sense that it didn't appeal to me. But um, yeah, Sinestro showing up there, I I don't know. It's the backups really didn't. If it's more of the same from the backups, then like I
Mhm.
said, it's probably not for me. It's not bad. It's just it's not for me. It's I mean it is well done. It's just I'm not the intended audience, so.
Mhm. And then we get like 3 pages with Alan Scott in the Justice Society. Like, again, more absolute power. Those Amazos are trying to take everyone's powers, and Alan kind of like keeps his power from completely going because I guess because the Star Heart, not being kind of mystical and stuff. So, and
Yeah,
again,
how do they
mhm.
how does she deal with like Constantine,
I
Zatanna?
don't know because I guess they must have figured out a way around that. Because in this week's Superman, they take Zatanna's power, so I'm like, they figured
Hmm.
out a way to do that. So
An anti-magic repellent
I
on the
guess, yeah.
on the bat utility belt.
But I'm thinking Alan Scott is having the most resistance because that thing's mystical and alien. So
And it's part of him and has been a part of him
yeah.
for, decades at this point.
Oh, and then we got 2 quick pages. Carol's fiance sitting there crying in Vegas, but then I don't know. I don't think it's supposed to be a black ring, but he gets something. It says sorrow.
That is interesting.
Uh-huh.
The emotional spectrum, something's up.
Yeah. And then pretty much the only other thing in this issue is they kind of do a flashback to the childhood of yeah, like I said, the guy who's in charge of the United Planets, that Theros, and yes, he is batshit crazy.
Oh, awesome. That is
Uh
just what we need.
uh-huh. It's basically when he takes prisoners, he's basically killing them, thinking it's this like horrible figure from his childhood, but they're not. So
Oh, okay, nice.
yeah. But yeah,
And he's a powerful shape-shifting Durlin as well, so
yes.
he's got that going on.
But yeah, considering this is in the middle of a crossover, I think you're gonna like it just because, yeah, like I said, Hal escapes this thing because he's so stubborn, and yes, his stubbornness on full display, and he headbutts a shark.
Nice.
Yeah, Jeremy
You know,
Adams know what the people want.
that's right. Give him what the people want.
Yes.
I feel for you, man. We need more Kyle. I will agree with that. We
Yes.
definitely need more Kyle. He's I don't know. I think because Kyle is he was the White Lantern, right? He was
Mhm.
the White Lantern. I feel like he's going to be pretty integral to whatever happens, to
Mhm.
fix the emotional spectrum.
Where I
And
wonder what I wonder once again if it's going to be like back when he brought Oa and everything back, of like the Guardians put something in Kyle where like he can like reboot stuff and either,
maybe,
either help bring them back or at least like reset all those batteries and stuff.
yeah,
Maybe that's the way.
yeah.
Maybe that's the way they're gonna. Jeremy Adams is gonna tie up all that stuff from the Jeffrey Thorne run. It's basically like, oh yeah, there's this kill switch in Kyle where no matter what things got changed last time, it's gonna kind
We
of
fix it.
reset. Yeah.
As long as you throw in a little Dark Crisis, event,
Yes.
everything will come.
Yeah.
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 So any Joe Simon?
No, not in this. Not in this issue. I mean,
Okay.
we saw Joe in some of the previous issues. Yeah, but not
Yeah.
this one. Again, they were jumping around so much because it was Hal. There was a couple pages with Alan. Then they showed a couple pages on Oa. Then they did that horrible Thrawn thing, and then Sinestro was like 2 pages or 3 pages. So they
Gotcha.
were really jumping around. And then, like I said, the penultimate issue of War Journal came out this week.
Penultimate. Awesome word.
Exactly.
Good stuff going on there.
Yeah, Jon Stewart's. John's pretty much. I think he's figured out what's going on here with all the dark.
Yeah, I'll admit the last issue 10.
Mm-hmm.
I felt a little lost because I know we were just
Okay,
kind
as
of
much as me.
traveling down memories.
Yeah.
So I was like, this just felt, what's going on? I mean, I probably need to go back and reread it because it was very disorienting, and maybe that was the intent. I don't know, but it was.
Mm-hmm. But he's kind of figuring out how he's going to beat this radiant thing, I guess. And then we kind of see his mother with the construct he left of his sister, and the mother pretty much says, she's like, yeah, I know you're not my daughter. I kind of remember that, and then to defeat whatever's coming after her. Yeah, she kind of bonds with the construct.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the construct even tells her, she's like, if you let me be your weapon and your armor and guide me with your will, we will face this dragon together. Yeah. So his mom's rocking some power now.
Nice.
And then, just as things are getting hairy at the end, reinforcements show up. What Green Lantern would tell John Stewart, you are the biggest pain in the ass to be bros with. That's right, Guy Gardner, kid.
Nice.
So Guy
And
shows
hey, that is an excellent segue into the issues that we have this week.
That's right. That's right. I was going to say, why are we taking so long? Are there Guy Gardner issues tonight? Oh, wait, there are. In a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. And I was before we jump into them though, I was looking at the release dates. So Green Lantern 67, the final issue before Flashpoint and New 52. It was cover dated. Let's see, August of 2011. The final issue of Green Lantern Corps was cover dated October of 2011.
Oh.
And the final issue of Emerald Warriors was also October of 2011. So I know we had talked about it a little before. Green Lantern ended, but then we got 2 issues of War of the Green Lanterns, Aftermath, right? So those kind of took the place of that book while Green Lantern Corps and Green Lantern Emerald Warriors finished their runs for Flashpoint. So I just kind of thought that was interesting that that Green Lantern actually ended, 2 months before
the other ones, yeah.
Before the other ones, yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I did a little research to figure out why, and I guess I just don't like having a month go by without a Green Lantern, man.
Yeah. But I mean, at least it wasn't like that dark year we got with no book at all. I mean, at least the Core and Emerald Warriors was still going on. And I love it's called Emerald Warriors, but pretty much these last 3 issues are very guy centric, just
very guy centric.
Except for a special guest in the last episode, in the last issue.
Wonder who that could be, Phil.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Yeah, we will get there. But yeah, I think these issues were, I find it interesting that, essentially the last 3 issues of the Core and this Emerald Warriors book are all done in one issues. They're all, 1-part stories. You get a beginning, middle, and end in that story. And I'm curious if that was the intent, or if these were maybe just inventory issues.
Or I wonder if, like, at a certain point, or were they just like, did they think the New 52 was going to start earlier or something, or maybe Flashpoint was going to go longer or something, so they were just like, I don't know, you got like 3 more issues, do what you want, so
maybe I don't know, but I think whatever the reason, the done in one issues for the Core, I think, were really successful, because they highlighted the pardon the pun, the core of the core, right?
Yes.
And to be honest, I think these 3 issues really are successful too, because they get it right at Guy Gardner, right at his kind of core, and who he is
in a good way.
Yeah, in a really good way. I mean, they're fun.
Right
Guy is
right to his core.
Yeah. he doesn't take a lot of BS. So but yeah, I enjoyed all 3 of these.
Oh yeah, me too. All right. So should we jump into these?
Let's do it, sir. And oh, by the way, these are collected in the War of the Green Lantern Aftermath hardcover.
Oh yes, and they are also on DC Universe Infinite. So
Excellent.
and I'm sure you could probably find these somewhere in a dollar bin for, well, unless you live in Australia, for probably not too big of a price.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. All right, Green Lantern Emerald Warriors number 11 from August 2011. Rest and Relaxation, which he does not get. Writer Peter Tomasi, penciler and inker Bernard Chang. Colorist Gabe Edelab, letterer Rob Lee, and editors Darren Shawn and Brian Cunningham. Guy Gardner plans to return to Earth for some relaxation when Salak orders him to save an Arcadian dignitary named Yule from an impending attack. Unfortunately, Guy falls into a trap set by Yule and has his power ring taken away from him. Yule plans to dispose of Guy, but Yule's assistant Helmsley saves Guy. It is revealed that the real Yule was already dead and has been replaced by an imposter. Guy manages to get his ring back and defeat the imposter. All right.
I
So,
thought the art was really good on this one.
Oh,
Nice
yeah.
and clean. It was a good looking issue. And that last page was pretty awesome.
I always think it's like maybe like it bumps the art up like a little more just when the same guy is like cut, or the same person is cut, or penciling it and inking it. So
I mean, it's a really good looking issue, and it, I think it does something that a lot of Green Lantern stories historically have done is, hey, show who the character is without the ring, right?
Yeah.
And without the ring, Guy is the same as he is with the ring, right?
Yes. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he kind of, well, it seems like he's getting seduced by this, this supposed dignitary, but yes, it is an imposter. So, I love Guy. You're not just kissing a Green Lantern; you're kissing the greatest green. He's like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. What? Hang on. Yeah, sometimes he makes an obvious mistake.
Oh, and then she tries to push him down on that bed and like electrocutes him, and she's like, "I thought you said that thermoelectric pulse would dampen his ring powers and kill him instantly." And yeah, the assistant's like, "It appears Guy Gardner was stronger than we thought. He is an honor guard after all."
Exactly. He is indeed.
So, well, see, that's why I think there are times. That's why I think Hal and Guy rub each other the wrong way sometimes, because in some ways they're very similar.
Yeah,
they're just too stubborn to die.
Exactly. And the thing about Guy is, he's, I think this is an interesting bookend. If you take Rebirth, because ultimately we're still. This is kind of the end of a really big chunk, a really big and important chunk of Green Lantern since it rebooted at Rebirth, right?
Yeah.
And it's still the way they were characterized in Rebirth, with his will, it's like a leaky faucet, right? He is always wanting to be free, and then the way he characterized John with that, architectural engineer mindset, and Kyle as the artist, and with Hal just being, the efficient flyboy, right? I mean, it's that's an interesting, that those characterizations have carried through. We're in 2011 at this point, so it's been 6 going on 7 years, right? And this has all been. I really feel like Jeff Johns was probably mostly in control, but we had some great stuff in the core by Peter Tomasi, and oh crap, I cannot remember the Patrick Gleason, on the core book. So we had both books rolling through here, and we still have those touch points kind of referred to, all the way back from Rebirth. I think that's really really cool.
And again, like you said, I love these issues. They're one and dones like this one. I mean, you get all your action. Gosh, basically die-harding his way through the ship and shooting up all these guys. And I love this ending, when he gets to the imposter and she's like,
Yeah.
I am now an intergalactic dignitary. With your power ring, I'll be able to unlock the secrets of the universe. There will be nothing that I cannot do. Nothing that I can take for my own. And Guy's just like, I want something too. I want my freaking ring back. And it just knocks her out, and that's the end of the issue.
Just dragging it away. Yeah, dragging because it's back to its normal shape,
Yeah.
whatever that is. Dragging it off.
Dragging it by the leg. Yeah. That ring back on. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought the art had at times almost a Dave Gibbons flair to it. Looking back. But yeah, it was a good issue. I enjoyed it.
It's like almost like a more, I want to say, more crisp, like Dave Gibbons almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, again, too, 2011, I'm sure we're into digital coloring and
Oh yeah,
all that fancy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, Salak's head is big in this.
Yeah.
But
this was a good issue. It really was.
Oh, yeah. Especially when Guy's like, you promised me rest and relaxation. He's like, if you do this mission, I'll double it. And he's like, you better. I guess you damn well better, Sally.
Sally, yeah. Yep.
All right. So, should we get to the next one?
You bet.
All right. Hold on. All right. So, Green Lantern Emerald Warriors number. Oh, hold on. I still forget this half the time. I'm gonna put those.
Put the issue up.
Yeah. So we talk the stories a lot, but these artists and stuff deserve some credit too. There you go. I think
that's right.
Yeah, Green Lantern Emerald. I think that might be one of the variants because the main cover was the skull with the lantern rings coming out of the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Green Lantern Emerald Warriors number 12, September 2011. The Beast. Writer Peter Tomasi again. Penciler Chris Batista. Inker John Dell. Colors Gabe Edelab. Letter Rob Lee. And editor Darren Shawn and Brian Cunningham. So again, almost the same as the first issue, but you got a new penciler and inker this time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The sector houses of the Green Lantern Corps are being destroyed. The appointed Green Lanterns of those houses have gone missing, and their power rings are not returning to Oa. Word of the incident reaches the Guardians through Salak, and they decide to send Guy Gardner to take care of the being responsible for destroying the sector houses. A creature known as Gigor. Without his usual team, Guy gathers a team of Green Lanterns he deems up to the mission. Eventually, Guy and his team come face to face with the creature, and one by one, his team members were consumed by the creature. With only Green Lantern Theodoric left to aid him, Guy decides the only way to destroy the creature is to allow it to consume them and destroy the creature from within. There they discover the bodies of the missing Green Lanterns as well as the rest of his team already in the process of decomposing. The power rings of their fallen lanterns are still embedded within the creature's belly. Guy uses the power of the missing rings to finally destroy the creature. In the end, Guy and Theodoric are the only ones to return from the mission. All right. So, what do you think? This was another funny one because they Guy's putting a team together and he's basically just looking for guys like him.
Exactly. People.
He's like,
with,
you got
problems with authority.
Yeah, you're in.
Well, I thought this was a good story, but it has a tendency to do something that I think that I personally don't like, and that's kind of recklessly kill large numbers of Green Lanterns. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm an individual Green Lantern, and I'm not talking just Hal Jordan. I'm talking about average Joe from sector, 1925. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, especially a sector we've never seen before or something. Yeah.
That average Green Lantern is still one of the most powerful people in that sector, right?
Yeah.
And to have something kill 50 Green Lanterns, or it just, I feel like it diminishes them somewhat, you know?
Yeah, well, I think that's a lot of the problem with like, well, modern comics and comics of this stuff. Again, it's like, oh, well, the Ring will find someone new, and again, of course, it's they always. It seems like a lot of times the writers and stuff want to come up with a huge menace that's going to take a bunch of Green Lanterns, so they feel like they really have to amp up its power level and stuff. And,
Yeah, and to do that, they kill a bunch of Green Lanterns,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
So,
A lot of sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, he was on the job for 2 days, so that's why he got killed.
yeah, I know. It's just, the just the sheer amount of power that a Green Lantern commands.
Exactly.
It's, it should be, again, and we've talked about this, it should be rare that all the Green Lanterns come together. Maybe a few of them, the ones that are our favorite, come together to fix something or do something. But generally, one Green Lantern is going to be able to take care of an entire sector, which we know that DC doesn't consider a sector infinite because, whatever. But we both know that a sector would truly be infinite, so whatever.
I mean, that would be interesting if they finally said, "Oh, hey, we're adding new sectors because the universe is expanding."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or maybe, yeah. So have 3,600 sectors, and that goes out, half the universe, right?
Mhm.
And then they do other sectors that are on the out, even further out in the universe, that are another sphere, outside of that sphere, I guess. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, and that's not really a problem with the story. The story is the story, and it's good because it has Guy Gardner doing what Guy Gardner does, which is be Guy Gardner. It's just that kind of tendency, I think, that writers have to just, oh, we're going to throw a bunch of Green Lanterns at it, and they're going to die, and it's no big deal. They'll get replaced, and we'll move on.
Yeah. And of course, too. That's the other thing that's written in is basically, they all have attitude like Guy Gardner, so some of them are going to rush headlong into
Oh yeah, exactly.
But no, now that we're talking about it, I mean, that's like the other thing they kind of sort of got rid of quietly, besides that yellow impurity, is like, remember when the rings automatically kept the Green Lantern from getting killed?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Exactly.
you could get messed up, but it's like there's enough charge in that ring, even when it's like kind of out. There's like a reserve. Was it like a reserve charge that kept them from getting killed or something?
I don't think they ever really explained it that well because it kept you from mortal harm. But,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Whatever that means. But then there was it Drick, Driq?
Oh yeah, the one. Yeah, wasn't he like kind of like
He was dead, wasn't he? But then he was still a Green Lantern.
They almost kept him like a zombie or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did we see him during Blackest Night? I can't remember. I think
Ah,
we did, maybe.
maybe in the background. I was gonna say I don't think he played. If he was there, he really didn't. We didn't see him do much. I don't think.
Yeah.
Mm. So yes, they have to go. And this basically this giant spider creature. And then didn't it say it was like decomposing those lanterns, but it like, kept them just alive enough that those rings weren't going to go flying off, try to fly off.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, like you said, it's just like blowing up sector houses or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I get he's powerful, but it seems, I don't know, it just seems a shortcut, to show how powerful something is. Just, kill the Nova Corps, kill some Green Lanterns, kill,
Well,
I don't know.
and then the whole reason it got out because again, and this thing was another thing the Guardians were keeping secret because they had it
That's
locked
true.
up
Yeah.
for how long? Yeah, but the destruction of Mogo, thank you, John. Yeah, sent energy infused particles hurtling through the cosmos, which kind of like shattered its prison. I love Guy. Kind of like a rewind of Krypton exploding, except without the super duper Boy Scout and one of the Guardians. If that is the best analogy you can understand, then
Yeah, that was a nice touch. A very nice touch.
So yes, another consequence of John Stewart blowing up Mogo.
Mm-hmm. Now, my understanding is that we do get Mogo back. It's just takes a while, and it's kind of to quote a Beatles song, a long and winding road, right?
But I was surprised. Yeah. Again, they didn't call. I mean, I guess he was busy in the core book, but we didn't call John Stewart in for this issue. Also, just to flog him with that again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would have made a lot of sense.
Sometimes it just seems like the art writers like to do that.
Yeah, and I think that's something that has been kind of refreshing about the current Green Lantern War Journal is that it's not a constant reminder of Xanshi.
Yeah.
So that's definitely regardless of my being disoriented by the last issue and but yeah, there's been no. So yeah, we just need to Xanshi is a footnote, not something that needs to be brought up every time he speaks, and we need to bring back Kat Matui.
Yeah.
There we go.
And again, maybe Mark Waid can do that in Action Comics Weekly. I mean, again, she's such a great Green Lantern. You need to bring her back. But two, I mean, just imagine, like I think we talked about this before. It's just all the stuff that's happened since she's been dead. She'll have to process. Be like Xanshi, Hal went insane and murdered everybody, and then
and he's back. But then it was a giant fear bug, and there's an emotional spectrum, and Blackest Night, and
Sinestro was a Green Lantern again for a while, and
and the universe has been rebooted.
I know
a bunch of times.
They never steer into that skid, but how funny would that be if she remembers the universe from the moment she died, and like this thing's been rebooted a few times, so it's like that's also the thing where she has to deal with that things are different, or it's like maybe we just get like a scene with her and John where it's like, did this happen? Yeah. Did this happen? No.
Yeah.
Just going down the list. Did we go on vacation here?
No, we didn't. Okay, wait. Hang on now. So wait. Yeah.
Because again, they kind of met like right before Crisis on Infinite Earth. So I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So she would have a pre-crisis memory versus everything that's happened.
Action Comics Weekly was after Crisis, like not too long after Crisis. So
that's true. So she would have been affected by the first crisis. You're right. Yeah. But then
none of the crises after that. No Zero Hour, no
Dark Crisis, Final Crisis,
Dark Knight's Metal.
Yeah, so anybody listening, as you can tell, we're fans of Kat Matui.
Yes.
DC should bring her back.
Yes. Well, I mean, we might just have to sit down with Mark Waid for a big talk, because I was planning on reaching out to him again, because he is going to be writing a 12-issue Batman and Robin year one. It's basically going to be like the early days of Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. So,
cool.
So, might just have to get a group together and be like, okay, we'll talk about that. And now, what are you going to do in Action Comics Weekly?
Please bring back Kat Matui.
Yeah, did you need to bring back Kat Matui?
Batman, my favorite character.
Speaking of,
that would be this. That would a nice segue into Green Lantern Emerald Warriors number 13.
I love the last page of 12. It just says next, and all you get's that bat symbol.
Yep.
Like, what more do you want to know?
That's all you need to know.
Yes. Here, I'll do the credits, but I believe I don't have a synopsis for this one, which I'm surprised. The Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Yeah. All right. Hold on. Let me put the cover up. So yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I guess maybe they just wanted to do it, but I'm like, the last issue they're going to do Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it probably wasn't even sales that canceled this book. It was just Flashpoint was coming in New 52.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Green Lantern Emerald Warriors number 13 from October 2011. 2011, A Space Oddity. Writer Peter Tomasi is going to wrap this thing up. Penciler, friend of the show, Mr. Ron Friends. I know, I'm getting there, Will.
This is Comics Illustrator Ron Friends, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
So, yes, we've talked to him several times, but just recently I talked to Tom DeFalco. Check that out. Capes and Lunatics episode 333. Yeah. Inkers John Dell and Mark Deering. Colors Gabe Edelab, letter Rob Lee, and editor Darren Shawn and Brian Cunningham. All right, so come on, stupid app. So yeah, this one's a murder mystery. So of course you need a detective.
That's right.
Yes. Although at this point, Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson were running around as Batman, but that suit, I can tell just from that suit, that's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
That's that Batman Incorporated suit. Yeah, that's Bruce Wayne. All right. I love how I changed screens and it closed on me. All right. Yeah, sometimes your app's not the best, DC. All right. So yeah, again, the art's a little different again because it's Ron Friends, which again and not in a bad way. I love Ron Friends' art. He has like the old school look because I know he did tell me like he has a lot of like Kirby influence and
Yep.
some others. Yeah.
I love. So, quick synopsis: Guy gets called to a space station because there's a murder mystery, and Batman's there, and they have to solve the mystery. So that's kind of the overview. But
Yes.
I love the end of the first page. Guy gets called up there. He runs up there, and the last
baseball
panel
game.
says, "Yeah." The last panel is, "What the hell are you doing here?" And it's Batman.
Yes. I love Batman. Just watch where you're stepping, Gardner. You're contaminating my crime scene. He's like, your crime scene. He's like, the ring called me. He's like, space is my jurisdiction. How the hell? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe they call them rockets.
A bat rocket.
Bat rocket. Yeah, that figures.
Batman.
Nice.
Favorite character.
But yeah, the victim was U.S. Air Force Captain Jefferson Keaton. Cause of death unknown. But yeah, well, Batman says he's here because he was about to pilot an experimental space plane with speed of light technology. Because the plane was funded by Wayne Enterprises, but Keaton was a friend, I guess, of Bruce's. So
yeah. And I love how they set it up so that we're gonna play good cop, bad cop, and Batman says, "Nope, I'm gonna go investigate." Okay, I'm good cop and bad cop.
I know. I love Guy has everyone at the table interrogating him, and Batman just walks out of the room. He's like, "I have work to do."
Yeah, and he's out there actively,
Oh yeah,
testing for prints and doing all of the
doing the
CSI
detective work,
criminal investigative, and Guy's just talking to them all and doing his thing, and but ultimately the both of them working together, they figure out who it is. Guy's able to save everybody in Opal City because that's where the space station was going to crash, and catch the bad guy. So yeah, it's a fun little book.
Oh yeah,
kind of ends on a positive note,
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. And of course, yeah, the Batman's rocket's not quick enough to catch the killer, so Guy has to go after him. Yeah.
I like how he makes to catch the space station that's falling. He just makes a giant slingshot.
Yes.
And then flings it out there.
Back into space, yeah. Yeah. And I love it when they get back to Earth and they captured the guy, and then the killer's basically saying, "Oh yeah, Keaton sounded like a guppy out of water when he was, blah blah blah, basically saying, oh, basically going, oh yeah, I begged for his life, blah blah blah." So Batman just like punches him, and of course, Guy has to say, "One punch." Batman had to say, "Didn't you, master the obvious?"
Yep.
That's me, Bats.
Yeah, can I get a lift home? I always wanted to ride in a bat rocket.
So I wonder if that's intentional that Batman's friend's last name was Keaton.
Maybe, I don't know. 2011 could be. Now, I do in the collected edition. I don't know if we saw it when we were talking about War of the Green Lanterns Aftermath #1, but there's a variant cover for that issue that they reprint in here. That is just awesome.
Yeah, look at that.
With Guy and Aricia and a whole crap ton of Green Lanterns. So yeah, that is a great cover.
Wow.
And then of course, it's got the standard cover that we see, with the ring.
Oh yeah.
in that issue. And
But
then we got some different variants in the rest of it here. But yeah, I thought this was a really interesting way to end both series, with the series of one shots.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, just like with the core book, I mean, bunch of one and dones, but yeah, they were good. It was, I mean, I think they closed out both series strong. It's because again, they knew we were coming to an end. They could have just limped to the finish line, and they didn't. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, and we basically we've really hit that ending point of the first, actually the first and largest chunk of the Jeff Johns, and I'm going to include Peter Tomasi on that because of all of the work on the Green Lantern core book. We've really hit the first ending point of that large chunk, because now we've got an interruption with
chapter 1.
Chapter 1. We've got that big interruption with Flashpoint,
Mm-hmm.
and then New 52, where things are different
But the same.
Banshee, I'm exactly. But how did Banshee get blown up by the New Gods or by Orion? I mean, by Darkseid, if they hadn't met the New Gods yet, because they first meet them in Godhead.
I can't remember. I guess we'll figure. I guess we'll get to that when we get there. Well, again, it's like, of course, Darkseid was big because of the Justice League movie and stuff. But
Mhm.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to remember. I wonder if they're just like, Darkseid blew it up, but the New Gods weren't involved after, in the New 52 continuity.
I don't know. But and then I don't know. But we know Banshee. We know that John blew up Banshee because we hear about it every freaking issue.
We can't take that man pain from him. No.
Exactly.
But no, I was gonna say, I think this series, Emerald Warriors, ended more. It's ironic. It ended more on a high note than the core book did, and it's Guy Gardner, because the core book, remember that last issue is basically like, the rest of the Lanterns like, we hate all Earth Lanterns.
Yeah, and we don't know if we even want to continue. But hey, there's an emergency, so I mean, it ended somewhat uplifting, but there was still a lot of, well, I mean, in that book, Salak, did, everybody suffering from post-traumatic stress at that point because of all the trauma that they endured during, War of the Green Lanterns, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So any thought, not only on this, but any thoughts on this first chunk of the first Jeff Johns?
Pretty amazing stuff. But think about it. We've had 100. This is our 181st episode, and we've gone from the 1990 series,
beginning of the 1990 series, to
starting the New 52, and we had some stuff that we've thrown in, like some Silver Age issues and various things here and there. But that's
kids, beware. So what was it? Episode 3, I think, was the Action Comics Weekly stuff.
We don't talk about it. So what did we decide that the two things that happened during Action Comics Weekly were Kat Matui getting killed and
Malvolio?
No, but does that really still count? I guess it was
Kat Matui might be it, isn't it?
Well, was
you're gonna say was he still on Oprah? Is that where you're going?
No. Did Banshee happen during the Action Comics Weekly?
No, that was its own little.
I know it was its own series, but did it happen at the same time?
Huh.
I'd have to look that up.
What was that? Was that Odyssey? Is that what it was?
What was this? Is it Justice League? No, it wasn't. Was it Justice League Odyssey, or was it just Odyssey?
Cosmic Odyssey.
Cosmic Odyssey. Thank you. Wow, I could not remember the name of that.
Hold on, I'm looking this up here.
And I'll look up Action Comics Weekly.
Well, I'm pretty sure Action Comics Weekly was during 1988 because they did it for Superman's 50th anniversary. So,
gotcha.
Oh, okay. Publication date December 1988 to March 1989.
So sort of ish.
It was probably coming towards the end of the Action Comics Weekly run, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so that Death of Cat Matu is still pretty fresh, and they're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's responsible for the destruction of an entire planet too.
Yeah, let's have him blow up a planet. Why not? Rock on. Again, I know I've probably, flogged this dead horse multiple times, but even if he had John Jones with him, what would they do?
I know.
They had like 3 seconds. What? I don't know. Would John just make the whole the bomb intangible? No, I don't know.
I wonder if again, we've talked about this before, that it's like, was it originally going to be Guy Gardner in that role instead of Jon Stewart? And did they change last minute because they felt, oh, well, people will let John get away with that, but if it was Guy Gardner, especially the Guy Gardner in the time, people would be like, no, they would come and take his ring and throw him in the psi cell. No,
I think too, it was that the Justice League International was a really popular book at the
oh
time.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Who is that by, Phil? Can you remember who that was by?
Keith Giffen and a certain friend of the show who's going to be coming back here at the beginning of August to talk Batman, Death in the Family, Batman Robin Lives. Again, always generous with his time, Mr. J.M. DeMatteis.
This is J.M. DeMatteis, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Nice. So I think that's my guess. Again, I think I read that somewhere, but I could certainly be wrong. But I think they changed it up because Guy was in a popular book at the time. So
yeah, they probably don't want to dump him like a mass murderer and all of a sudden be like, oh hey, by the way, JM, Guy Gardner is going to be responsible for the destruction of a whole planet. Oh yeah, that'll keep the humor intact. Yeah, sure.
Exactly. Yeah. Bump. But and they weren't going to do that to Hal because Hal was headlining the main book with. Well, no, actually, there wasn't a main book.
Wasn't even around yet. Yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly. And so, we had Action Comics Weekly, and then we had a couple of
how a few years changed things. 1988, 1989. They're like, boy, we can have Hal Jordan with a death toll on his hands. No.
5 years later. No.
Oh
yeah, I don't know. I would really. That's the one thing that I would really like to see from a Green Lantern. I mean, first let me back up. I know we talk a lot about the Thorn run and how it ended and how we don't have answers to all kinds of things from that run, especially characters that we saw dead versus being alive at the end of Dark Crisis and all of those things. I'm really confident that Jeremy Adams we're in good hands. We're gonna get those answers, maybe not as fast as we want them, like now, but I'm not, I don't wish that, hey, we're gonna get all this figured out, because I'm confident that we're gonna get that. One thing from a Green Lantern standpoint that I think I would really like would be for Cat Matui to come back.
Yes.
I think that's kind of like at the top of my list right now, because all those other things, I want those too, but I think we're going to get those anyway. I'm confident that we will. But that is one thing that, it's I feel like it's an injustice that needs to be righted,
Yes, I think that needs to be the new campaign here, because I know over on Spider-Cast, Loaf and I were talking about tweeting almost every day. Be like, bring back Spider-Man's marriage. That maybe here now, and maybe we need to tweet out every day. Bring back Cat Matui.
Yeah.
But no, I was thinking about this as you're saying this. You can redeem Jon Stewart. You can give him a Hal Jordan style redemption for Xanshi.
Yeah.
And you can tie up a dangling plot thread from Action Comics Weekly. Remember, Malvolio switched rings with Hal. To try to control him or something. No. So maybe you reveal Malvolio was controlling John, and that's why he was acting all weird and Guy Gardner-ish in Odyssey, Cosmic Odyssey.
There you go. You have solved the problem. And
yes.
Malvolio could then have somehow preserved or something Katma Tui, so she's not.
Oh, it was a
You could
clone.
tie them
that got
together.
killed. Yeah. He set up Star Sapphire to kill a clone. Yes. She's been sleeping this whole time.
Yep. Another Lost Lantern to bring back and hopefully not kill like all the other Lost Lanterns. But anyway.
Exactly. Oh my lord! But again, you could have so much fun with that. Malvolio being like, "Yeah, I tried to control Hal Jordan, but he was too damn stubborn. I couldn't get into his head. I didn't want to get in his head. So I controlled John Stewart. How made him blow up. And again, there'd be some big cosmic conspiracy why he wanted Xanchi gone or something. Or
yeah, exactly. Well, and actually, we could pull that from the Jeffrey Thorne run because the Crux Worlds concept that he created for that, which I thought was again, there are some really, really good things about that run that I like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a lot of things about that run that I don't like a lot, So you take the good, you take the bad, right?
But again, the facts of life. Anyway, but no, yeah. Again, it would be so easy to say, yeah, John was being controlled because he was acting so out of character in that series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it worked for Hal Jordan.
Exactly. Exactly.
And again, you could tie up that Malvolio thread from almost 40 years ago.
40 years ago.
30 some years ago, yeah. Still sitting there.
Nice.
Oh my God, Mark Waid, you would be the man if you brought back Malvolio in Action Comics Weekly in some capacity.
and Katma Tui. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So I'm trying to remember. I don't know if he wrote anything for that, but I'm pretty sure he was like editor or something on that.
I think he and Brian Augustine were like the editors for it. Yeah, I think so.
Because I thought I saw something on social media the one time where Mark Waid was like, "Oh yeah, that thing was crazy." There was like one Friday night they were working to like the very last minute to get the whatever issue that week out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wow.
He's gonna do it again.
Well, but Action Comics Weekly kind of crawled so that something like 52 could just run,
yeah.
I mean, whatever they took whatever hopefully they learned from Action Comics Weekly, and because 52 I feel like was a really a success. I mean, it worked. They did. I really feel like it just worked as now Action Comics Weekly. Again, we don't talk about it. So
yeah, and again, there were so many teams with so many different just like side stories. Yeah, it was that. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, surprised how they got through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anything else, William?
No, I think we've ranted and raved enough, don't you?
Oh, we've hit a lot. Yes. All right. So yeah, that's it, kids. Next week we're gonna start our 2 weeks of Flashpoint. So next week we're gonna talk Flashpoint Aubin Sur, the Green Lantern. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to talk Flashpoint Hal Jordan, both of those 3-issue series. And then the week after that, we're going to start New 52 with Justice, the first 6 issues of Justice League. So
nice.
We'll see.
By some unknown artist and some unknown writer.
Yes.
Jeff Johns and Jim Lee. So.
Jim Lee, yeah. Who's guy, yeah. I hope it's good art.
Yeah. Oh wait, it's Jim Lee. It's going to be awesome.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll see. We'll get a little flashback there. How is Green Lantern, and then we'll get that Green Lantern, the first 6 issues of Green Lantern in New 52, where yes, Sinestro still got that ring. Hal's been drummed out. So
yep,
we'll deal with
things get weird.
Oh yeah. All right. So yeah. So send us all their thoughts on those. Oh wait. Okay. I got more pretty pictures for you kids. All right.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Send us your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Get the brand new merch. The old stuff's still up there. The classic stuff is still up there. And yeah, also, well, demands that you ran the money on us to the Cash App link. So just send us money.
Make it rain.
And of course, please do the Cash App, because we don't want to be the metaphorical young girl dancing on the pole when Guy Gardner comes in and wrecks the club.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
Thank you, Justin. And of course, the Patreon, where yes, Lilith and I give you exclusive content every month, just for you paying customers. The July episode is going to be Lilith and I breaking down our trip to HersheyCon at the end of June, where we finally got to meet DG Chichester in face to face. We had a quick little interaction with Mark Wade. Got to see Jim Shooter. I got to look up at Jim Shooter. Like, man, he's big. I'm 6 foot tall, and I was like looking up. I was like, hey, he's a very tall man. And again, you have to subscribe to the Patreon and listen to the episode, and we'll tell you how fans were literally ripping doors down. So, yes. So subscribe to the Patreon at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics, or find it all at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. It's in the show notes.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right. Now for this Mr. Will Allred, this genius, this madman.
Madman, yes.
Master of the core, master of the quantum zone, master of podcast, and genius of several successful Kickstarter campaigns, which you can see on the screen right now. Will, where can they find that?
You can find me at Walred. That's at WALLRED. And let's see, you can do that at Gmail and Facebook and Blue Sky and Twitter and Instagram and all the places probably. But if you'd like to find, and like Phil said, I do write comics, and we publish them via Kickstarter. So if you'd like to check out Crossover Division, you can do that at crossoverdivision.com. Crossover Division number 5 should be physically in my hands in a couple of weeks for me to start sending out to backers. So I'm looking forward to that. That's always lots of fun. And Diary of Night's an older series. You can find the collected edition of that at diaryofnight.com. We should be launching the number 6 of Crossover Division in late August. So you can check that out at crossoverdivision.com. And finally, you obviously have great taste because you're here hanging out with Phil and I. Listen to us rant and rave about Green Lantern, which means you probably love Marvel's Quasar, almost as much as we do. And if you'd like to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
I am God.
He goes limp in my grip.
And
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
That's the one.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
all right. And kids, I put my money where my mouth is. I tell you, Crossover Division's great. I put my money where my mouth is. So yes. Go.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Again, yeah, we're gonna have to do another episode. You, me, and Lilith, maybe. Justin, whoever wants to get on. Yeah, we need to promote Crossover Division number 6 when it hits Kickstarter.
Cool. We can do that. I'm certainly down, man.
I mean, I love talking to JMD Mateus, but again, he's a very, very, very.
He's on a whole nother level, dude. I'm down here.
People got to know his name in the industry. All right. Thanks for joining us. Again, Flashpoint starts next week.
Hope you've enjoyed this chapter of Green Lantern.
Another chapter ends, another one begins.
That's right.
Although,
A pointy, flashy one.
The next 2 weeks might be an interlude. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Or no, it's a hyper time, Eddie. That's what it is. Versus hyper time, Jimmy. I don't know. Whatever.
Don't touch Jimmy. All right, come back next time, and remember, nothing beats a bat rocket. Good night.